Welcome back. Today we're going deeper than most people ever go, into a coin that looks completely ordinary, gets ignored every single day, and yet under the right conditions can turn into something far more valuable than anyone expects. This is the 1982 D Lincoln penny. And if you don't understand what makes this coin different, you could spend one without even realizing what you just lost. Because here's the truth most people never hear clearly. Almost every 1982 D penny is worth exactly 1 cent. That's reality. But hidden inside that massive supply is a tiny group of coins that break the rules. Coins that were never supposed to exist the way they do. Coins that collectors are actively hunting because when they show up, they don't stay unnoticed for long. And everything comes down to one moment in time. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a critical change. For decades, pennies had been made primarily from copper. But rising costs forced a shift. The mint transitioned to a zinc-based coin with a thin copper coating. On the surface, it sounds simple. But in reality, it created chaos. Because during that transition, multiple versions of the penny were produced at the same time. Different metals, different date styles, different dyes. And unless you know exactly what to look for, they all look the same. Now here's where things start to get serious. The 1982 D penny, minted in Denver, was produced during this transition. And according to official expectations, by the time certain versions were being made, the composition should have already changed to zinc. But something didn't go perfectly. A small number of coins appear to have been struck using the old copper planchets even when they shouldn't have been. This is what collectors call a transitional error. And this is where the value comes from. Because when a coin exists that technically shouldn't exist, it immediately becomes something special. Now imagine this. You're holding a 1982 D penny. It looks normal. Nothing stands out. Same color, same design, same feel. But what if that coin weighs 3.11 grams instead of 2.5? That small difference means everything. Because 3.11 grams means copper. 2.5 grams means zinc. And if you ever find a 1982 D small date penny made of copper, you're looking at one of the most talked about coins in modern circulation. Now let's slow this down and make it practical. Because this is where most people lose the opportunity. There are 3 things you must check. First, the mint mark. Look under the date. If you see a D, that means it was made in Denver. Second, the date style. This is subtle but critical. The small date version has thinner, more refined numbers. The large date is thicker, more bold. The difference is not dramatic unless you know what to look for, but once you see it, you'll never miss it again. Third, the weight. This is the step almost nobody takes. You need a simple digital scale. Nothing expensive. Just something accurate enough to measure grams. Place the coin on the scale. If it reads around 2.5 grams, it's zinc. That's the common version. If it reads around 3.11 grams, now you have something worth investigating. Because that combination, a 1982 D small date penny weighing 3.11 grams, is what collectors are searching for. And when one of these coins is confirmed, it doesn't go unnoticed. We're talking about a coin that can reach into the thousands depending on condition and authentication. A coin that most people would spend without thinking, turning into something far more valuable simply because someone took the time to check. Now here's something important that most videos don't explain properly. Not every heavy coin is valuable. Coins can be damaged. They can be altered. They can have dirt or residue that affects weight. That's why you don't jump to conclusions. You verify. This is where professional grading comes in. Services like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guaranty Company exist for this exact reason. They confirm authenticity. They evaluate condition. And they give collectors confidence. Because in the world of coin collecting, confidence is everything. Now let's talk about condition for a moment, because this is where value can change dramatically. You could have the right coin, the right weight, the right variety, but if the coin is heavily worn, scratched, or damaged, the value drops. On the other hand, a coin that looks almost untouched, sharp details, clean surfaces, strong luster, that's where things start to climb. That's where collectors compete. That's where prices move. And this is why so many valuable coins are missed. Because people assume they would notice something valuable instantly. They expect it to look different. They expect it to stand out. But most of the time, it doesn't. It hides in plain sight. Now think about how many pennies you've handled in your life. Hundreds? Thousands? How many did you actually check? How many did you weigh? How many did you compare? This is why these opportunities still exist. Because most people don't look. They rush. They assume. They ignore. But the people who find valuable coins, they do the opposite. They slow down. They pay attention. They understand that small details matter. Now let's go even deeper. The reason the 1982 D penny is so powerful in this niche is because it combines everything that makes a coin valuable. It's common enough to be found. It has multiple variations. It involves a major historical transition. And it includes a rare combination that shouldn't exist. That combination is what creates demand. That combination is what creates value. And that's exactly what you're looking for. Not just rare coins, but coins that have a story. Coins that represent a mistake, a transition, a moment where something didn't go exactly as planned. Because those are the coins collectors chase. So here's what I want you to do. Next time you come across pennies, don't just glance at them. Separate the 1982 coins. Check for the D mint mark. Look closely at the date style. And if you can, weigh them. Take your time. Because the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars could come down to a single number on a scale. And that's not something you want to miss. Because somewhere out there, right now, there is a 1982 D penny sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten collection, waiting for someone to notice what makes it different. The only question is, will you be the one who finds it, or the one who spends it without ever knowing what it could have been?